Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture series on laser, which is a part of your module optics. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the history of laser and main properties of laser. So let us start. So the first question comes, why do you need to study about laser? What's so special in laser? So actually, laser has many importance or uses or applications in your daily life, in your industries, in your engineering field. So let us start with one by one. Say in medical applications, welding and cutting, you know about laser cutting, laser welding, then communication systems, heat treatment, laser printing, laser cooling. So these are only few names I have mentioned. There are many more examples of laser in our industrial life and your syllabus in engineering, where you use the direct application of laser. So let us start with the history of laser, how it has come or how it has been discovered. So in 1917, Albert Einstein laid the foundation for the invention of the laser in a groundbreaking introduction of concepts of probability coefficient for the absorption, spontaneous and stimulated emission. So these probability coefficients are known as Einstein coefficients. Then in 1928, Rudolf Landenberg confirmed the existence of stimulated emission and negative absorption. So Einstein has proposed that and Rudolf Landenberg has confirmed that. Then in 1939, Valentin Fabrikant predicted the use of stimulated emission to amplify short wave. Then comes in 1947, Willis Lamb and R.C. Rutherford found apparent stimulated emission in hydrogen spectra and made the first demonstration of stimulated emission. Then 1950, Alfred Kastler proposed the method of optical pumping, which is a necessary part of laser, which was experimentally confirmed by Brossel, Kastler and Winter in 1952. Then in 1953, there comes maser. It has been discovered by Charles Townes, James Gordon and Herbert Zeiger. So maser is actually microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So this is actually the first step toward laser. This is the same procedure but in microwave domain. Then comes 1958, Townes and Suchlow extend the maser concept in optical domain, which is known as laser. The term laser actually first introduced by Gordon Gould in 1959. So this is how laser comes. And in 1960, Ali Javan, William Bennett and Donald Harriot made the first helium neon laser, which is a gas laser. And Theodore Maiman produced the first solid laser in form of ruby laser. Now what's so special in laser? Why we are talking about it? So there are four unique characteristics which differentiate laser from your ordinary light: coherence, directionality, monochromaticity and high intensity. So what about ordinary light in terms of coherence? So in ordinary light, the electron transitions take place randomly. There is no constant phase relation between the waves produced by ordinary light, because every electron transition takes place in case of ordinary light. There is no specific relation between them. It is completely random. That's why they are incoherent. Therefore, the photons are out of phase. The photons are coming from ordinary light are out of phase. You can see the waves in ordinary light, there is no relative phase relation. So these are all are incoherent source. So your ordinary light is incoherent. Then comes laser. Then how it is different from ordinary light? In laser, the electron transitions are artificial. You forcefully make the electron to decay to the ground state. That's why all the emitted photons are made to transit at the same point of time. So all the transitions take place at same point of time. All the photons emitted in laser have the same energy, frequency and wavelength. Therefore, the lasers are in phase and it is coherent. So, lasers are coherent, your ordinary lights are incoherent, because the electron transitions in ordinary light are random and in laser they are artificial, they decay at the same point of time. That's why the waves produced in case of laser are completely coherent. Then what about directionality? In ordinary source, photons will travel in random direction and the light sources emit the light in all the directions. So, it emits light in 4 pi in all directions for ordinary light. But in laser, it emits photon in a particular direction. That's why the width of the laser is extremely narrow and there is no spreading in case of laser. So, you see, in case of ordinary light, as the light progresses forward, it spreads out. But in case of laser, there is no spreading. Its width is extremely small. In terms of monochromaticity, in ordinary light, the photons can be decayed from any state to any state. That's why the decaying energy or the waves coming from the decay of ordinary light, they have different energies. There is no relation between the energies, and so all the waves have different frequency, wavelength and energy. So, they are not monochromatic. But in case of laser, all the emitted photons have the same energy, because the decay takes place from a particular state to another particular state in case of laser. The parent state and the daughter state are fixed in case of laser. That's why you get only a single frequency. That's why it is monochromatic. This is highly monochromatic in case of laser. But in ordinary light, it is not monochromatic. What about intensity? In ordinary light, the light spreads out uniformly in all directions. That's why there is a loss of intensity. Or in other words, you can say the intensities are distributed in all the space. That's why it has a small value in various directions. So, you get some reduced intensity. But in case of laser, the light spreads in small region of space and in a small wavelength range. Hence, laser light has greater intensity when compared to the ordinary light. As its spreading is small, there is no loss of intensity, or there is a spreading of intensity is also small. You can have an example. Even a 1 watt laser would appear many thousands times more intense than a 100 watt ordinary light. So, you can just imagine how much a laser intensity is strong compared to an ordinary light. In this point, the lasers are different from ordinary light. That's why laser has a unique properties and unique uses in our daily life. So, what we have learned today about the introduction about laser, the history of it and various properties of laser. Thank you.